only two people raised their hands, so.
Only two people remember.
A little nervous.
Oh my gosh! It's Nick. We're back for another awesome training. I hope it's awesome. I mean, I think it's awesome, but I'm biased. And Charity here. Charity, I always mispronounce your last name, even though I've known you for years. McQuistion.
That was pretty good. Yeah, McQuistion.
McQuistion. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Charity McQuistion. Charity is the MCA for KW Premier in Clarkston, Michigan. That's where I was formerly team leader. The reason why I have Charity on today is because we're going to talk about command opportunities, and Charity basically has nailed it, right, Charity? Did you nail it?
Sure, yeah. We're nailing it.
Yeah, well, for the purpose of this webinar, you have nailed it. You are the first and foremost expert of opportunities. So basically, you could just make stuff up and people would think it's actually happening. So everyone mute yourself, please, for the time being. So we don't. I'm going to mute everybody, and then Charity unmute, and then you can unmute yourself because I can't. So Charity, please unmute yourself.
All right, I'm good.
Okay, perfect. Everybody unmute yourself. Everybody mute yourself, and I'll unmute you. Yes, buddy, come here. You want to be on the webinar? Okay, my 4-year-old's at the door. Where's mommy? No, I need my phone, bud, but you can play on my iPad. It's upstairs. Okay. Okay. This is what it's like having 4-year-olds at home. Can I play on your phone? No, I need my phone, but you can play on my iPad. Okay. We're talking about opportunities today. Opportunities is one of those features, and let me know if you agree, Charity. It's kind of like it's very elusive, right? Is it working? Is it not working? Yeah. What does it do? What does it not do? What can I do with it? So Charity, I just want to get started because you've done a lot of cool things with opportunities at your market center, and I think you're one of the first MCAs in our region to actually bring the whole office online with opportunities. I mean, as far as I know, using commissions and DocuSign, right?
Yeah, I think there might be one other, but yeah.
Okay, cool. So can you talk to me, and I know most of you might be agents that are on here, right? And that's okay. I'm sure there's some leadership like team leaders or MCAs. Can you talk to me really quickly about the strategy that you used to get, hold on 1 second, guys. I really need everyone on the call to just keep yourself muted until we open it up for questions, because if you don't, then I can hear everybody and we can't hear Charity talking. So I'm going to mute everybody again, and then Charity, please unmute yourself so you can answer the question. So I want to talk about some of the strategies that you used to get the market center fully on board with opportunities, and kind of how do the agents react to it? What did you do to get them to start using it? So talk a little bit about that and how that started off.
Well, I think it started pretty similarly to most market centers. We had a handful of early adopters who, as soon as I came into the market center, were on board and really wanted to try the new tool and shiny new objects of command. And then we had people who were not super on board with it, and that's totally normal. So over the last couple of months, it's been a matter of slowly integrating it into our business and rolling out a plan to the agents as far as what that transition would look like. And that was starting back in December when I joined the team in Clarkston. So it's just been a matter of, how is this going to help improve your business, not just create something else for you guys to do in your business? Because opportunities, it truly is, it's a tool, right? I mean, command, there's so much that command can do. The opportunity piece is how you run your business. How are you looking at your business from a business owner standpoint? So it's more than just like a tool it's not just a function. It's there to help run and operate the business as well.
Okay, so I love that you said that because Keller Williams is all about helping agents treat their business like a business. And
Hmm.
so that's why opportunities is so important. So you can kind of stay on top of that. So talk about some of the functionality within opportunities that would help agents start to look at their business like a business. Because from having conversations as a team leader, agents really don't know how much they're spending. They don't know what they have pending. They don't know what they have coming in and going out. So talk about how opportunities can help them track that.
Yeah, so opportunities, I think right now the misconception is that it's just for active transactions. And once you have an active listing or you're working with the buyer, you then create an opportunity. What it's there for though is to be tracking from the very beginning, from your nurture stage. So if you're looking at your pipeline, you'll see in your pipeline it starts with the nurture stage, so that you're tracking exactly how many people you have in there, how many leads are you nurturing right now, like the true form of a lead. So not just someone who may be interested in buying someday. Well, I mean, obviously they are interested in buying someday, but the difference between someone who just clicked on something and someone who you're truly nurturing. So within that, you can also tell how many people you have in each of those different categories of nurture, appointment, active, and then closed. So you're tracking every single piece of your business. And then at the end, if you look at your pipeline, it gives you your estimated GCI and probable GCI, which if you're into the numbers, that's really cool, because then you can kind of predict and estimate what can my budget be, and what is my income going to look like, and how can I start to grow my business based on what is in my pipeline.
Okay, so really quickly, I'm going to share my screen because as you're talking about different aspects of it, I just want to talk about,
Yeah.
what that would look like, right, from cultivation stage. And by the way, keep in mind, guys, like this is a demo account. Don't worry, like I don't have nothing going on. People are like, oh my gosh, Nick, don't send me money. I'm okay. Um, this is all I'm making, guys. It's a crisis.
Oh my
No,
goodness.
but what were you gonna say?
I said, oh my goodness.
Oh, no. So what Charity was saying, this isn't just a feature where you're like, okay, I just listed a house, so now I'm going to start, or I just started taking buyers out, now I'm going to start. This is from like literally anybody that you're having a conversation about right now about real estate goes and cultivate.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I think
like
that's
if
the
you're
big missing puzzle too.
right. So there's an agent in Massachusetts. Her name's Kimberly Meserve, and I've had her on webinars before, and like her pipeline was at $500,000 by the middle of March or something, like or earlier, and most of it was in Cultivate, right? And
Mhm.
that's fine because those are people that she's called on the phone. Maybe she's met them somewhere. Maybe they're friends and family. But at some point, they said they want to buy or sell a home, and so they go and Cultivate.
Mhm.
And you put them there, right? Like if you get a lead from Facebook and you call them up and they say I want to buy in 6 months, put them in Cultivate. Don't
Right.
wait until you set an appointment. If you're
Absolutely.
at like the playground when we used to be able to go to playgrounds, and I'm talking to a mom or a dad, and their kid is playing with my child, and they say, yeah, we're thinking of selling our house in like a year. They go right and Cultivate immediately. So that's I think you think that's the missing puzzle, right? Agents aren't doing that.
Right, exactly. Even if I'm not seeing agents right now truly get into opportunities until they're reaching that the active stage. So if we're putting them in, even on appointment, I mean, if you're going straight to an appointment or nurturing, both of those, it's going to help you track where your business needs to be. And then from a conversion standpoint, opportunities it's tracking your conversion, which if you're in any coaching program, that's going to be the very first thing that your coach is going to look at with you is what is your conversion? How do you know how much you need to lead generate every day if you don't know what your conversion is, right? How do you know how many appointments you need to go on every week if you don't know what your conversion is? So that's a huge piece of it as well. And it looks like they just added a feature to compare your conversion rates to other.
Well, no, so that feature has actually been there for a little while. However, you have to have a certain amount of deals in the pipeline for that to work. So if you only, I think you have to have like 50 deals in the pipeline. If you don't have at least 50 deals in the pipeline, don't quote me on that. I think it's 50, but you can't do it with like one or two. You have to have a certain amount. But yes, show comparison when you toggle this and you have enough deals in your pipeline, it will be able to show you where you stack up amongst other agents in our company. So that's very powerful. I want to say something oh shoot, I just forgot what I was going to say, Charity. Can you just fill in the gaps there? That agents, yeah. I just want to, this is what I was going to say. When you set your goals, this is what I was going to say. When you set your goals in Command, the goals talk to opportunities, right?
Yeah.
So when you're moving something from cultivate to appointment to active to under contract, your goals are going to update in real time along with this pipeline. So like if you're looking at your goals all the time on your homepage of Command, if you've placed them there and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm not hitting my goals, you'd be surprised. If you think that you're not hitting your goals and then you add like 5 or 6 people to cultivate that should have been there, your goals are going to update. And then you're like, oh my gosh, wait, I am hitting my goals, right? So that's very important to do too. Would you say that is something that agents should start practicing?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, tracking the goals section, that's been a really awesome tool to go back and forth between as well. And then at the bottom, if you were to go down to the bottom of that pipeline, the reports in there as well. If you look at the listing percentage versus buying percentage, just looking at your goals, if you have, if you're focusing on a specific area of your business, it's really nice to be able to see right in front of your face exactly where you're at.
And by the way, guys, I want to tell you something that's rolling out really soon within Opportunities. You're going to have the ability to keep your clients up to date. You're going to be able to create more checklists. So let's say you take a listing. You're going to be able to build these, put in the sign, put on the lockbox, schedule the open house. And you're going to be able to check these things off. And so every time you check something that's been completed, your client's going to get an email saying, Nick has now put up your sign. Nick has now installed your lockbox. Nick has now started running Facebook campaigns. Nick has scheduled a video of your home. So this is going to be really robust, and these updates are coming out really soon. Yeah. And so now it's going to start including the actual customer, not just the agent. And we're kind of doing that already right now, right, Charity? You want to talk about the guides for the customer?
So with the new Keller Williams app, it's really cool because you can go into your opportunity and create specific checklists. So you have 2 different checklists that you can create and customize. So the one that you were just talking about is based on transaction. So you can kind of create a template for all and then customized it based on transaction. So if you're looking right up at the top, right under your face, next to discussions on the top, my right hand, right in there, that little check in the 0/0, that's where you can actually doing those checklists that you're talking about, which is really cool.
Yeah,
and you can customize different pieces as well. So what I was
talking about is later on there's going to be, if any of you guys are using Brivity has a 2-way conversation with agent to consumer, and it's like a marketing checklist. And so every time the agent checks off a certain box, the consumer gets a notification that something was completed, because
Yeah.
between, consumers think if they don't hear from you for a day that you haven't done anything. So this is just going to be another way to keep your consumer in the loop with what you're doing. But yes, tasks. So I jumped ahead a little bit. Let me just talk about this, and we're going to go back. So
Okay.
the seller guide, if you're using your app,
Yeah.
you have the guide within Opportunities under the seller profile. So once you've listed a house or started working with a buyer, you can start like checking off things that are done. And when you click save
Yep.
changes, they get a push notification within their app telling you that staging is done, professional photography is done, marketing is done, showing your home. We're starting to show your home. We're reviewing offers, et cetera, et cetera. But what I was talking about was more in depth about certain actions that you're doing on a regular, everyday level that you'll be able to keep your clients in the loop with. But yeah, so I didn't mean to hijack that, but let's go back to when you first put someone into Cultivate, right?
Mhm.
Or let me find here. I'm gonna take this one here that I have, and I'm going to move it back over here into Cultivate so people can see. All right, so if I have someone in Cultivate, Charity, like you were talking about tasks, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
So talk about what you would use a task for. So Nick is in cultivation, and I'm nurturing him because they might want to list his house, right? So I can put a task under every single stage or
Yep.
phase.
Yeah. And you can create them so it's the same for every single client that goes through. So like one you could put in here would be to start Nick on an 8x8, right? Or
So I could do this. So I could say, so if I check this off, do you have a sheet? Can you share your screen? Do you have it up?
I don't know. I can pull it up. I don't have
Yeah, I
like
can.
one set up in there, but do you want me to show how to
Yeah,
do
just
it?
share your screen. Yeah.
Hold on. So, okay, can you see that?
Yep.
Get out of all of this. Sorry, my computer is being a little slow. So,
No, you're
um,
good. We can see the whole thing.
awesome. So if you're in your whatever stage, right? So I've got a lot of different examples in here from teaching and stuff. These are not actual real transactions. You can go in and create different checklists. You can change them depending on what your pipeline looks like and what your different stages are. So if I wanted
Yep.
to add in here, this would be a hot client. So I'm going to send thank you card. I'm just making up random stuff, but I could say call to follow up. And you can set the dates as well. So then it will actually go into your task reminders. If I set this as a task and remind me tomorrow at 11:30, I'm going to get a reminder then tomorrow in my tasks to go in and call this person for a follow-up. So some of the things that you could be doing if you're on an appointment, I have a scheduled appointment in here. One of my, oops, too far. You might have like pull MLS, like pull your comps for the listing appointment or prepare for listing appointment. Whatever those activities are that you're doing, go into that task list. And then as you're setting reminders, they're coming through on your tasks and updating you.
Right. So when you're setting a specific task for each phase. Now, correct. I always get confused with this. The showing or the negotiations, is that a phase or is that a stage?
So I get confused on them too. You have your phases on the front, and then I think these are the stages
Okay,
because you
so your
can edit.
phases are at the top, and then your stages
Yeah.
are underneath phases.
Right.
Gotcha. So
So you can't
showing is
edit the
a stage.
phases, but you can edit the stages.
Okay, so the showing is a stage,
Yes.
and you can add you can add tasks like a task for that would be okay. Well, let's use staging as an example. Staging is kind of like preparing the home for sale, right? So you could put like
Yeah.
scheduled photography,
Yep.
that type of stuff. And then it will
Yeah.
remind you that day in your tasks on Kelly and in command that that's what you need to do now for that specific stage.
Right. And I'm going in and what I'm looking at here is doing it manually. You can go into your settings and actually create a template so it does the same checklist for every single opportunity you create. So you
Okay.
don't have to go in and manually do it every single time.
Okay, can you show that to us? Because that was some of the questions. Can you, yeah, you can create checklist templates. Can you just show us that really quick on what that would entail?
Yeah, so you're going to go into your settings and then go into your command settings.
Okay.
And it's been a little while since I've done this outside of,
That's okay. They
so
update
you're
stuff
going
a
to
lot.
go, sorry. Uh-oh, where are my command settings or my
Is it
opportunity settings?
compliance?
There you go.
Oh, opportunity settings.
No, your compliance, it's going to be in your settings. Sorry, hold on. You put me on the
Yeah,
spot
they're
here.
updating stuff all the time, so it's like.
I know we did it in the beginning, and then that's like the step 2. Oops, here we go.
Oh, and that little gear icon. You know what? It's in there
Yeah,
somewhere.
it's in there.
As an agent, you're going to need it more than an MCA.
Yeah.
So, what I would do is just ask your MCA at your office or ask an agent that's, oh, someone says design template. Maybe that's it. But anyway, I don't want to troubleshoot right now. But as an agent, you're going to use that more than an MCA is going to use that. But you can edit state. Well, someone's saying yes, the edit stages button allows you to then like create other stages and rename them. She's talking about checklists and you're talking about tasks, right? That's what you're talking about.
Yeah, so you can edit the stages within that up here, this edit stage.
Yeah, that's easy to do. So
Yeah.
let's talk about now that you've got like let's say you're moving people through these different stages, right? And so everyone knows how to drag and drop. If you just move one over to the other, move it up if you're going to go under contract, and then the new stages start. Can you talk a little bit about like why this is important for the MCA as well? Everybody wants to get paid, right? So if you
Mhm.
want to get paid on time, it's important to start adopting this and talk about how you can communicate back and forth with your MCA easily, like through each transaction with that discussion option.
Okay. So within each, let me open one of these up. If you're in your documents, you can communicate directly with your MCA or someone else if you're on a team and wanted to communicate with that. So you have add comments in here within each each folder. Oh, I got to move your little faces out of the way. Okay. So if you hit the add comment, you have these little discussion boxes. So you could say at Nick, you are missing
All the documents,
everything.
Nick, no one signed any of the paperwork.
So you can see it pulls you up, and then up here in your opportunity or in your command, you have a little bell with I have some messages in there. So that would then alert you that I sent you a message about this one. Then you would be able to reply back to me in the same way. And then you can see over here, I just pointed to my screen, like you can see what my hands are doing. Over here next to the listed side, you have this little.
Oh, Charity, I just got the message from you.
Yeah, see?
I'm going to write you back.
Okay.
Hold on. That's so cool because I've never played around with this part before. Oh, I'm going to write you back in real time.
Okay.
So you don't need to see me. I'm just going to say, I'm going to go Charity. Yeah. So what? Yeah.
So while you're doing that, I just want to point out though, make sure you guys are talking to your MCA as well, because if they don't have their notifications on, they may not get like an automatic notification. So be careful on what you're, expecting communication wise back.
That was so cool. I replied through command, but you can
Yeah.
do it through Kelly also.
Yeah. So I just got that back. Um,
That is so, I love that because I had never been able to do this before. I've never been able to, because I can't test out conversations on my own. But
right.
that's so cool, like that. This is just like Slack. So this is like the Slack style integration that Command has done. Command's done for us, and I love this. I love this. So who can you bring into this discussion? Just people in your market center?
I believe so. Yeah.
But
I
it's a
haven't
very
tried
easy
with
way.
any. Well, I don't know. You're outside. Well, no, you're in our market center.
No, no, I'm still in your system. But
Yeah,
yeah,
it
no,
looks
you
like just market center.
But I love that because now you don't have to always text back and forth, and all of the conversations are housed, like they live they live in that transaction,
Yeah.
right? So you'd be like, well, Nick, at 11:30 on the 15th, I did ask you for it,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, oh, Kelly didn't send me the notification. So that's super cool. I love that. All right, that's good. You can have that. You can have that back and forth with people in your market center,
Yeah.
with your MCA, and yeah, let's move on to another. Can you now show us the consumer experience portion? So, guys, go into guides. Before you do, hold on. Before you do, go back out of that because I want to. I'm going to share my screen for that because I
Yeah.
have. Unless Yeah, let me share my screen for that. So you stop because I can show how that works.
All right.
All right, so everyone, this is how you can incorporate the the client, right? So everybody knows that you have a guide on your website, you have a guide on your mobile app. Oh, look here. How's our little conversation? You have a guide on your website, a guide on your mobile app that kind of like lets the client know where you are in the transaction. It's that on-demand information, right? That we were talking about. So what is this? This isn't mine. Oh, yes, it is.
Oh,
Okay, hold on. Oh, I'm in Command MC. Okay. So if I'm in, oh, that's because I was talking to you and it brought me to Command MC. All right, so if I'm cultivating somebody and now I went on the appointment and now they're active, right? And so I click the active button, and then and this says Facebook because this was where the lead came from. So if I click these little dots and I click View Details, and then I click Seller Profile, then I can see if this person is signed up for my app or website, I can manage the guide. And because it's a seller, they've got my seller guide, right? And so let's say I went on the appointment, I got the listing, and then we completed staging. Then we completed professional photography. Then we completed marketing. I showed you this already, but now it makes more sense in where we are in the conversation. And every time I save these changes, then they get a push notification to their phone saying, great, this is done. So another one I love is how many times you've been to a house where like, the seller goes, okay, great. Let me know when the buyers are done with their inspection. And then you go home and then you're watching Netflix and it's 9 o'clock. And you're like, oh my God, I forgot to tell my seller that they're done with the inspection, right? Like,
yeah.
now you can just do it with the click of a button. And you save changes and they get that push notification to their phone. So that's a way that you can control their guide. Mortgage pre-approval. That would be a really cool update for us, for a seller to get on their phone from you, letting them know that the buyer got their approval and now they can essentially close on the house. So that's how you kind of bring the client into it. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Can you talk about how you would write an offer? How you would present the offer through opportunities to a
Yeah.
client?
Yeah. Do you want me to share my screen so you can see that?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, this is really awesome. I really like this part of it. So if you're in your opportunity and you go under offers, you can see in this example, I've had 2 offers. Let me just go back and change this response so I can show you. Oops. Oh, I've already gone through too far on this one, but let me see if I have another one that's hasn't been closed out yet. There we go. Okay, so you can see right now I just have 1 offer in here. If this is a listing and you have a multiple offer situation, I'm going to go in and just add an offer really quick. So you would just put in all of the information from, about the property. If you were to do this the right way, this is just an example I'm jumping in the middle of. Like most of this should be filled out for the most part, depending on where you are in here. So it's wanting me to go through and put the entire address in. I would have already pulled this in from my KWLS. So if I'm looking in here, I can see I don't have active listings personally, but if I went in, I could pull up different active listings. So I can search, different listings that are in the MLS. I'm just going to use this one really quick. So you can see that it pulls everything in for you. The name of the seller, Mr. Seller. Fill in, I'm not going to fill in this whole thing, but you guys get the gist. You can pull in exactly who is in the transaction, the buyer and the seller information. I can come in and add in what the offer is. So I could say $500,000 cash, $10,000 EMD. I can fill in different, based on what your offer is. I'm just jumping through this really quickly. Pros, huge cash offer over asking, none, take this offer. Okay, and then save. So now I have multiple offers in here. I can come in and compare the 2 offers. Oh, I may have messed it up because this is an old transaction. So without going through the whole thing, you would be able to compare. Let me go back. Sorry, Nick. Let me change this response really quick. Oh, my compare offer button is not there. Do you see? Normally there's like a little compare offer button right here where you would be able to put these side by side. Oh, Nick, you're muted. I can't hear you.
So this is like if you have multiple offers, you'll be able to add them, and then it will create a side by side for you and show your client, basically, so you don't have to bring in all these crazy spreadsheets, right?
Right. Do you want me to just start one from scratch really quick so you can see it?
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know how much time we have to look at, but I can just zip through. So this would be if you were creating a new one from scratch. Listing, I've got all that. I can add my custom tags. Oops. So you can see in here, I didn't add any documents or anything, but I can add my offers now. And go through the same thing. Same thing in here. Okay, and now I can add another one. So again, if you have multiple offers, you can add as many as you want. If you're working with a buyer, you really only have to enter your offer that was accepted. But to move on to the commissions tab, you do have to have an offer in there.
Gotcha. So this is a great way to kind of like compare compare offers. And you
Right.
can also can you send offers that way, like for a seller to kind of like review before you send like a paper offer?
Yep,
Or a
exactly.
DocuSign
So
offer?
if you're the listing agent and you wanted to put in all the offers, agents spend a lot of time putting them into spreadsheets and compiling all of the information. This is going to do it for you. So you can see now that we're in a fresh opportunity. Before, I had already closed out those other ones. So when you're in a fresh opportunity, you have this compare button right up here, or select all. Then up here, you get this compare offers. So it takes you and it gives you this side-by-side view, which is really cool. You can then download this and send it out to your client, or print it out and take it to your seller. So you can see everything right there side by side. You can
Oh,
also,
that's super awesome.
yeah.
Whoa, wait, I've never seen that before, actually. Can you show me that again?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa, I love that. Hold on a second. I'm taking a screenshot. So this is like this is basically, you bring this to your client, and the more offers you have, obviously, the more columns there's going to be.
Right.
But you're just kind of taking the important information about each offer and like relaying that message to them.
Exactly. Yeah. And it shows that you presented every offer to your client, right? You can also email it to them if you wanted. So if they wanted to have that in an email, we have 2 offers. Here are your offers. You can send yourself a copy. You can add attachments, everything in here, which is really cool.
That's super awesome. I love that. Hey, let's go and ask if there's any specific questions. I just want to make sure that we covered. Talk about DocuSign. Show us DocuSign real quick. You've implemented it really well in your market center. So can you give us an example of like how that looks and
Yeah.
how easy it is to use? It's very similar to .loop. Instead of loops, you have rooms. But
Mm-hmm.
just start a transaction. Let us see how that looks.
Okay. So it's going to look a little bit different depending on your market center and what they have uploaded. So as you're going in, you'll have different checklists. This is in command, but you'll have different checklists depending on what your market center has created. You create your opportunity or your room within DocuSign, or depending on what your market center has set up, you might have .loop in here as well. And then we'll log into DocuSign. So it brings in, I didn't link this opportunity to the MLS, but if you're in command, you can link it to the MLS and it will start bringing in that information for you. On the details side of command, the more information you have filled in here, the more will auto populate into DocuSign for you. So I didn't link those previously, so you can see if we go into the details page, there's not going to be really anything pulled in here, right? If I were to go back in here and fill in the information, I can then resync it with DocuSign up here. So that's what this sync transaction button is for. So if you make changes in command, it'll automatically update for you in DocuSign. So if I were to have filled that out previously, it would have all auto-generated in here for me. So it's definitely kind of just a couple of clicks and it all streamlines and feeds into each other. Into your documents, again, depending on how your market center has this set up, you might look a little different. So I'm going to go into our DocuSign forms. Ooh, they've made a change since yesterday. I'm just going to continue for now. Okay. So there has been a little bit of a weird thing with DocuSign just over the last week or so, and I know KWRI has been working with them to fix this. So this gray screen stays up and it takes about 60 seconds for the next box to pop up. So if you guys have been using it and you're noticing it, it's not just you. So just be patient and it comes up in just a second. This is where you need knock knock jokes, Nick. You're on mute again. I can't hear you. Oh, you're muted. You're talking.
Okay, there we go. Hey, I have a better joke than a knock knock joke. How do you find Ronald McDonald on a nude beach? Anybody type it into the chat box if you know the answer. How do you find Ronald McDonald on a nude beach? Okay, I'll tell you. He's the one with the sesame seed buns. All right, thank you very much. I'll be here all night.
All right, so good thing our screen popped up, so we can move on now. Then you can choose from your libraries or your groups. And again, this is where it's going to be different depending on what your market center specifically has created. So for us, I have different packages created for the agents so they can see if they're working with a buyer, a listing. I have a market center and a business center that has different forms. So we'll go in, we can create a premier listing. I can select the forms that are in here. I can unselect depending on what I'm doing in my transaction. I can add those. And then all of the forms that I just added are in this room now. So again, depending on what your market center has set up, you might have different things in here. You might have forms in a package that you won't necessarily use on every transaction. It's really just going to depend on your market center. When you open these up, let's go into this exclusive right to sell. That's when you'll be able to start editing your documents. So you can see the only thing that I had filled in previously was the client's name. So that auto generated in here. If I had other things filled out under the details page, that would all start to auto fill into the documents themselves. So you can see the office address is in here. So usually there would be a lot more information. You can go in, choose these. I'm just making stuff up.
I mean, it's very simple. So talk about how this is very easy, and then it gets sent to your client, and everybody knows how to use DocuSign. And I feel like this is another part of the consumer experience in the sense of like a lot of people are familiar with DocuSign, right? I would always have issues with clients saying, "How do you use .loop? How do you use .loop?"
Yeah.
You don't really have to explain it here, right?
Right.
So you had a workaround to pull documents from your board. Is that correct?
That was more for the MCA side on getting the documents uploaded. You can just upload a document though. So if you have, say, a PDF of a form that you use. So as an example, for a while, our lead-based paint was not in DocuSign. So the agents would have to upload a PDF version of the lead-based paint and then just pop in the signatures. So it was simple enough to do. You just grab your, we'll just grab a random PDF from my computer, but when you go in here, you can just throw your signatures in. So if you don't have all of your forms, it is possible to still use DocuSign. So I can grab a room participant myself. Can add these people. Then go in. And add your signatures that way. So it's not complicated at all. It's pretty easy. You can also, if agents are using their own forms, I don't know if this is widely known, but they can create their own templates within DocuSign as well. So that's a little bit more of a complicated process, and there are tons of videos, but you can create your own, so you don't have to go in and like customize every single time.
I love it. So let's see if there's any questions over here. Yes, Danielle's being recorded. DocuSign's overwhelmed right now, and they have posted that to their website. I mean, but if you have the forms in there, then
Yeah.
then you're all good. Let's see. Okay, so Patty Gilman was watching. Patty, so this is Patty Gilman in our office in Premier.
Hi,
This
Patty.
is something that you shouldn't even be worrying about, Patty. You have a listing coordinator and you have an executive assistant. So just tell them to do it, right? Like we're gonna send them this video.
Yeah, Patty's already using it, and she's doing great.
Yeah, her team's using it already.
Mm-hmm.
So good. Any specific questions? I want to see if there's anything else we didn't cover before we wrap up. But I think we basically covered a lot of things. Yeah, streamlining the communication, the importance of using it, getting agent adoption, tasks, DocuSign phases and stages. Yeah, lots of good stuff. If you have registered for this webinar, you'll be emailed the webinar once I upload it to YouTube. So everyone watching right now, when it's done, at some point today or tomorrow, I will upload it to YouTube and you'll get emailed with the recording. So please don't individually email me asking because you're going to receive it anyway. But this is really great. So yeah, I mean, listen, every office and company has a system in which they need you to follow in order to get paid, right? And so a lot of people were complaining, oh, I don't want to use this, blah, 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 blah. I know we're all independent contractors, but if you want to get paid, this is what you got to do. And it's really not that hard. And it's actually more beneficial for you as a business owner, especially now, right? Like right now in the atmosphere that we're in, like just knowing what you have in the pipeline is so important. It's more important than more important than ever before. So will .loop go away? No, you can still use .loop. You just got to pay for it, right, Charity?
Yeah, so .loop, and this is a conversation I just had with a few agents yesterday. You can use whatever system you want to have documents filled out, right? You can use DocuSign, AuthentiSign, Instanet, .loop, whatever it is. If you want to have a caveman paint your documents on the side of the wall, it doesn't matter. Just they have to be in command for compliance, right? So if you're still doing them by hand, that's fine too. The method of getting your documents done is totally up to the agent and how you run your business. It's how you're getting those documents then to your MCA that it's important to use that command documents piece.
Hey, Charity. So somebody's saying, that their market center is still using .loop, but
yeah.
Like you said before, they can use DocuSign even if their whole market center hasn't transitioned over, right? By uploading documents.
Yeah, so talk to your MCA. I know some offices have not quite made that transition yet into using command. So they're still doing compliance through .loop. So confirm with your office MCA. I don't want to tell you guys to change and do something that your office isn't set up to do yet. So definitely have those conversations with your MCA.
Sounds good. Well, hey, listen, this has been awesome. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining. Thanks, Charity, for taking some time out of your day. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you subscribe to my channel, hit the little notification bell. Every time I upload a video, you're going to get notified that there's something new to watch. And if you've registered for this, then, of course, you'll get the recording at some point later on today or tomorrow at the latest. So thanks for jumping on, and everyone have an amazing, awesome day, and we will see you next time.
Thanks, Nick.
Thank you, Nick.